know that the average crypto investor's attention span is pretty small, but it couldn't have been that long ago, right? I'm talking about the whole ASTER, BNB, and perp dex craze that completely took over crypto Twitter last month. Well, if you think perp dexes have come and gone, that idea might be completely wrong. We could be entering the calm before the next storm. So in this video, I'm breaking down where the perp dex sector really stands, which platforms are thriving, which ones are fading, and what it all means for traders who still believe this narrative has life. But there's one problem. I noticed only 20% of you are subscribed with bell notifications on, so if you want to catch this alpha before the rest of the crowd, then I highly suggest that you subscribe and turn on notifications. Now, let's get into it. Over the past few months, volatility in crypto has really shook some traders out of the game. We've seen many people de-risking by moving their positions into some of the safer picks like Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum. We've even seen people take things a step further by completely pivoting to the stock market instead of crypto. And many are even just going all the way back to gold. Hence why gold has been breaking through all-time highs lately. And I'm not surprised by this when you look at just how much money was liquidated and wiped out from futures in the last few months. Honestly, October was a perfect example of how fast sentiment can flip. The market erased over $370 billion in value in a single week during the biggest liquidation event in crypto history. Over $19 billion in leverage positions were wiped out between October 10th and 11th. Bitcoin crashed from $126,000 to as low as $104,000. Ethereum fell under $4,000 and open interest collapsed by 30%. Whether you think it was caused by Trump's tariff war with China or by classic Binance and Wintermute manipulation, either way, we're getting screwed over by whales. But I guess Trump doesn't have beef with all of China, considering the absolute bombshell news that dropped earlier. President Trump issued a full pardon to Changpeng Zhao, better known as CZ, the billionaire founder of Binance. Remember, CZ stepped down as CEO in late 2023 after pleading guilty to anti-money laundering violations, shelling out billions in fines for the exchange, and serving a light 4-month stint in prison. Now, with this pardon, that conviction gets wiped clean, bringing back his rights to do business in the US and retake direct control of Binance. That's bullish for everything in the BNB ecosystem, including ASTER, of course. Now, let's see if this results in some new deals between Binance and World Liberty Financial. By the way, if you are bullish on something like BNB and want to set up a leverage play, you already know how important it is to have a reliable exchange. That's why I've partnered with BTCC, one of the oldest and most trusted trading platforms in the world. They're fully licensed in the US, Canada, and Europe, and you don't need a VPN or KYC to get started. Using the link down below, you'll get a 10% deposit bonus and up to $10,000 in rewards. BTCC is offering advanced features for both spot and futures trading, and I'll be building exclusive trading guides and spreadsheets for everyone who signs up through my link down below. Now, let's get back to it. Now, Sol isn't just gonna let BNB keep the spotlight forever. Solana co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko accidentally leaked code for a new perp dex called Percolator. That single GitHub post ignited a storm across crypto Twitter as everyone started talking about Solana's entry into the perp dex game. Keep watching because I'm going to be doing a full deep dive into Percolator later on in the video, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. But first, we have to start with the project dominating the spotlight, and that's ASTER. It launched back in September on BNB chain with backing from CZ's YZ Labs, and after one chill tweet from CZ, it blew up. It's already become a dominant multi-chain DEX connecting BNB, Ethereum, Solana, Arbitrum, and more. ASTER lets users trade with up to 1000x leverage, place hidden orders to avoid slippage, and even trade tokenized stock perpetuals like Apple and Tesla. But here's where it gets crazy. The platform is pulling in over $10 billion per day in perp trading volume and has already gained just under $2 billion in TVL. On top of that, its fee structure is insanely low at just 0.01% for makers and 0.035% for takers. But critics have their concerns as well. ASTER had a massive token unlock around October 17th, and many warned about how this was going to cause a huge increase in sell pressure on ASTER. From looking at the charts, ASTER dropped from $1.27 all the way to $1.05 after this. But the thing is, ASTER, as well as pretty much the rest of the entire crypto market, was already on a downtrend during this period. So it's hard to gauge how much of ASTER's fall was caused by sell pressure from the unlocks and how much was just from the overall correction. As for the newest updates, we just saw Trust Wallet launching perps in their own platform for over 100 markets with over 100x leverage. That'll bring perps trading exposure to over 200 million users, and it's all powered by ASTER. So let's see how things go now that CZ is officially off the leash. Things could get crazy. Next, we have to talk about the largest perp DEX in the world by far, Hyperliquid. It's a layer 1 blockchain designed entirely for perpetual trading, and thanks to that it can provide lightning fast execution with 100,000 orders per second and on-chain order books that easily compete with the top centralized exchanges. Not just that, but its token Hype is used for buybacks, burns, and staking yields up to 12%. As for popularity, recent data shows a 24-hour perp volume of around $11 billion, down from earlier highs, but still ahead of most competitors. And TVL sits at just under $5 billion, twice the size of ASTER, giving it the largest on-chain footprint in the perp DEX space. So if you're comparing Hype and ASTER, Hype's pros include deep liquidity, tested infrastructure, and in my opinion, a much cleaner UI. The downside would include the token unlocks coming in November and a lack of privacy, which allows whales to front run and manipulate the order books. Whereas ASTER lets you place a hidden order through ZK technology, which does not appear on the books until it actually is executed. But even then, Hype continues to lead the space in total revenue and TVL. Then we have some upcoming projects including Lighter, a rising Ethereum layer 2 perp DEX with zero fee trading, social leaderboards, and copy trading features. It recently moved out of beta and reached over $10 billion in daily perp volume with more than 180,000 registered users. Lighter runs on ZK rollups for fast transactions, supports 50x leverage, and uses an LLP vault system that provides liquidity with up to 60% yield. Its user base is growing fast and the interface is beginner friendly, so it's a good option for those who are into the Ethereum layer 2 side of crypto, and I'm looking forward to their token launch in December. But now we finally made it to the big one, Percolator. So this upcoming Solana native perp DEX was teased by Tolly himself. Traders on X went wild when the news dropped, since this could be Solana's big swing to grab a piece of the pie from giants like ASTER and Hyperliquid. So what's the deal with the project? Well, let's break down what we know, which isn't too much so far. Percolator is built from the ground up to leverage Solana's insane speeds and sustainability. I'm talking about 65,000 plus transactions per second and near zero gas fees. So this thing is really going to feel like just trading on a centralized exchange. It's designed for high frequency trading, meme coin perps, and even tokenized stock features like Apple or Tesla, all on-chain with no bridges or downtime. The huge advantage is, of course, the fact that it's part of the Solana ecosystem, so it can easily integrate with Jupiter and Radium liquidity pools. That's a $10 billion DeFi ecosystem, but of course, all of this is still just speculation. It's pre-launch with no TVL, volume, or token as of yet. I'm still definitely going to be keeping a finger on the pulse for this one, and I can't wait to see what Solana can cook. And you can bet that we're going to be tracking all of this heavily in the FireHustle Discord. If anything big happens, that's where you're going to hear about it first. So if you really want to get ahead of these narratives before the rest of the market catches on, you should join me there. My team and I spend hours every single day doing deep research, analyzing charts, tracking institutional inflows, and finding projects before they blow up. We post watch lists, setups, guides, and narrative breakdowns long before the mainstream ever notices. So if you're serious about leveling up your game, the link to join us is in the description below. See you in there. So to wrap things up, the big question remains, are perp DEXs dead? The answer is no. The infrastructure is only getting better, the use cases are improving, and the competition is forcing innovation. The problem is that we've been in a bit of a downtrend lately, and so obviously a lot of leverage was wiped out from the market during the volatility. That's caused a major shift towards the fear side of the fear and greed index, and causes a pretty big halt in perps trading overall. But as we continue into the bull run and shift back into greed, you can be sure that perp DEXs are going to be absolutely dominating the revenue charts. And that's it for today. Remember, just because I'm talking about these projects doesn't mean you should blindly invest in them. None of this is financial advice. Always do your own research, manage your risk, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. If you enjoyed this breakdown, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more deep dives just like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.